Okay, so April 2018 has come to an end. It's now May 1st, and I'm going to show you guys how April went for me, budget-wise. But before I get started, I'd just like to thank everyone who's been watching these videos and subscribing to the channel, and hopefully I'm helping you out in some way. So if you want to subscribe, just click the subscribe button down below and you'll see more of these videos. I'm up to 113 subscribers, so again, thank you. I've made a bunch of videos on how I cut my debt, like this one here, how I cut it by $20,000 in one day. Give you a quick hint, I sold a vehicle that I had a bunch of debt on. I wasn't upside down in it, but I did. It was just a mistake that I made purchasing the vehicle. We all make mistakes. That was one of them for me. And then I made one here. How much are your vices costing you? So, you know, that $5 cup of coffee every day is, you know, could be killing your budget. So, a bunch of videos like that. So again, thank you for subscribing. And let's get to it. So, minimize this. This is my April 2018 budget completed. So I'll just go through it top to bottom here. If you'd like to download this, if you're new to this channel and you'd like to download this spreadsheet, it's available down below in the description. It's completely free. I just ask that you subscribe to this channel, and that's a free spreadsheet to download. And you can start, you know, managing your money better. So let's get started here. So my budgeted amount for April was $3,350 for my income. So that's how much I thought I was going to make. Now my income is very sporadic. It's not like I don't have a regular 9-to-5 job. I have like 3 or 4, sometimes 5 jobs going on, and it all depends on my customers. So one of my jobs is skip the dishes. So I made delivering food, which is a food delivery service. I made about $2,600 delivering food last month. I'm picking up every shift I can. I'm pretty much working every day, you know, busting my butt to pay off this debt here. And then with Gadgets Plus More, which is a business I have supplying stores with cell phone chargers, headphones, things like that. I supply 30 to 40 stores across Canada with those. So I took in about 800 bucks. I took in more than that, but I keep a healthy float in my business. So I could take more, but I'm not going to do that. So I took about $800 last month. And within that business, I write off my cell phone, things like that. So that comes off the top, and you can see here I don't include it, my cell phone, in my personal expenses. So technically, this is probably closer to 900 or so with that. But with the actual amount of income I took in was $800. Boat and vehicle detailing, I got about $245 for that, so it was a bit low on that. And also the tax return I was really surprised with. I got over $1,300 with that. And with other income, so I got a bunch of money back from my cell phone for some reason, and a couple other things. So total income was, and this is after tax, so this when you're recording your budget, make sure it's after tax. So this after-tax income was just over $5,100 a month, which is really good for me anyway. So that's that. And then the expenses. So if we go through my monthly expenses for April, we have rent. So these are all fixed. So these are things that typically don't change month to month. So we had rent of $700. Car insurance, gym membership, tenant insurance, renter's insurance. So my debt repayment was actually, I was able to actually pay a lot more than what I originally stated in my original video. My original goal was $700 and 705.05 each month. So I wanted to pay off almost $17,000 in 24 months. So that was my original goal, and that was 705.05 each month. But this month I was able to pay off, so I have my line of credit debt payment and my student loan payment. So those added together, let me shrink this up a bit. So if you can see here, $1,055.55. So I paid over $1,000 in 1 month off my debt. So that's a really good start, and that was with saving. So over this month, I've learned a lot about what to do when you're trying to pay off debt, and what's worked for people in the past. So I'm going to start doing that. And one thing is I'm going to stop saving, and which sounds weird, but I've been listening to a guy named Dave Ramsey, and he's got thousands of people out of debt, and he talks to millions of people every day. So he's made hundreds of millionaires, so he can't be wrong, right? So he's a really good guy to follow if you want to follow him. So I'm going to stop saving. So this month I could have actually I should change this to 250. So I could have actually increased my debt repayment by $400. So because I had these 250 here, and then another 150, and I bought cryptocurrency. So it was more of a speculation kind of thing, but I bought $150 worth of that there. So I'm not going to be doing any buying of cryptocurrency, and no buying of savings or anything like that. I'm going to still keep the emergency fund, just keep that going a little bit. But yeah, savings, no more. Not until I'm done paying off debt. So that's pretty much it there. This was also, I should change these. But yeah, so that was my fixed expenses. Variable came down to, it was under gas. So I use a lot of gas every month because of the skip the dishes, delivering food. So I spent just over $400 in gas. And groceries, spent just over $400 in groceries. And restaurants and drive-through, I went over my budget because we went out for dinner one night. So technically, Dave Ramsey says, you won't see the inside of a restaurant unless you're working there. So it's one thing. So we spent $60 there. I'm a sucker for coffee, so you can see all these little things that add up, really. But it is what it is there. I didn't buy any alcohol. Entertainment, we went mini golfing and watched a movie, that sort of thing. So that's way under budget there. Didn't spend anything on like mountain biking or golfing or anything yet. Gifts, didn't buy any gifts. Interest on my line of credit. Actually, I believe it was, let me double check that quickly here. You can fast forward if you want, but I'm going to double check. I'm not going to do any editing on my videos, so just bear with me. I actually forgot to add in a few things, so let's see. Let's pull up on my phone. Let's see. Boring watching this. I like podcasts, so this is kind of like podcast style. Accounts. And what did we pay? Oh, we paid a lot. $34.54. So we paid $8.54 over. So I'll have to take that into account for next month and adjust it there. And remember, with your budget, it's a fluid thing. Like, it's not set in stone. Your budget at the beginning of the month is set in stone, but as you go forward, It's a fluid thing. Things change, things come up. You just got to add those into your budget. But, mostly the fixed things will be fixed, obviously, but then the variable things will be fluid. So just take that into consideration. Don't beat yourself up. And then other, so if we keep going down here, other was Costco membership. You can see, I with anything with the other, I always, just so I can tell what it was, like it was Costco membership and a haircut. So $83 I spent on other. And if you want to do that too, just click on the cell, right click, insert comment, and then just write it in there. And then if you want to keep adding to it, just go edit comment and then keep adding to it there. And then a big thing here, a big oops. So when you're paying off debt, do not book trips. Focus on the debt. Don't do what I did. I actually forgot about that. My girlfriend and I booked a trip to Las Vegas. So, oops. And luckily I had the tax return to pay for most of that. So $1,000 there. So we're going for 4 or 5 days in May. So it was $1,000. Oops. So I don't plan on the next year. So I'm going to be paying off my debt in the hopefully next 16 months now. And no trips, rarely eating out, keeping it tight. So just keep that in mind. You're trying to pay off debt. You're setting a goal. Do one thing at a time. Don't book a trip. Don't, just focus on the debt itself. And with the downloaded budget, you'll be able to, I list a bunch of things here that'll help you out a lot. So as we come down here, my budgeted to income expenses, so that was at the end of March when I made the budget, was I was around $55.97 over. Now according to this, I'm $600 over, but that's because I pay myself every week. So the last week I had to add in my rent. Obviously I had money still in my bank account from the previous month. So, but anyway, I use most of this to pay my rent and things like that for May 1st. So that's why there's such a huge, I wouldn't be able to just throw this $600 onto my debt, because I got to use that to live, for rent. So you'll probably find that as well. Now with so I paid over $1,000 off, $1,055. Now I would have been able, like I said, I would have been able to pay an extra $400 if I didn't save anything. So I'm going to do that going forward. And I'll quickly bring up my May 2018 budget. So May budget, I've learned a couple things. One thing is to have a zero base balance. So what that means is, I budget myself bringing in $4,500. So that's skip the dishes are for $1,500, my gadgets for $600, and boat and vehicle detailing. That now, based on last year, I made $2,200 for the month, or I took home $2,200 for the month. So, and then other income I just keep at $200. So hopefully I'll be taking home $4,500 this month. And then if you see here with my budget, budgeted expenses, so fixed and variable, was also $4,500. So if you find yourself, I have other here, so that's where that, if you've done a budget and you're close to zero, I just, I was $50.45, close to zero, so I throw it in the other. There's always something that comes up, so for me anyway. And so I just throw that $50.45 in the other category, and that balances out to $4,500 in expenses. So I've adjusted my goal for going forward. So right now I have almost $16,000 in debt. So like I said, I paid off that almost or over $1,000 last month. Now my new goal is $1,600 or $16,000 in debt with 16 months to pay. So I have to pay $1,057.57 every month in order to pay off that debt. Now $16,000, $17,000 doesn't seem like a lot, but when you break it down monthly, it can be stressful. So just remember your goal. Keep it in mind. You know, when you're debt free, you'll thank yourself. You'll thank your future self, and then I can start putting this $1,000. You know, I can start putting it towards retirement. I don't have a lot of retirement right now. I'm 33 years old, so I'm going to start plugging away at that more, and then saving up for a vehicle as well. After I pay off this debt, I don't plan on going back into debt. Okay, so it's whether it's a vehicle, that would probably be the only thing I would go into debt for, and I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do with that is that my current car is probably worth only $3,000. I plan on saving up $5,000. So if I can sell that for $3,000, I'll have an $8,000 vehicle, and then save up $5,000 for 10 months. So that's a $12,000 vehicle or $13,000 vehicle after that. So if I can sell that $8,000 vehicle, 10 months later after I buy it, roughly the same, hopefully, and then buy myself a $13,000 vehicle, and then keep doing that until I'm up to the $20,000 or $30,000 vehicle that I want. So that's kind of my plan. Hopefully it may not work out, but that's my goal. So it's easier, and I don't want to go into debt. I don't want this $600, $500, $400 monthly payment. So that's how I'm going to do it. So that's pretty much it for the budget for May. So remember the zero-based balance here, and so your income and your expenses, every dollar that comes in is gonna go somewhere. So you have to allocate it somewhere. So just remember that. And if you're just starting off paying off debt, just starting today, you've come across my video, or you've been looking around YouTube and reading books and things like that. From what the guy I'm following, his name's Dave Ramsey. So in his videos and his teachings, step one is to save $1,000 emergency fund. So, and the reason for that, before paying off your debt, the reason for that is if your car breaks down, you have a couple $100 or $300 or $400, whatever the emergency may be, is you have that set aside for the emergency. So if you have that $1,000 set aside, you don't have to worry about dumping it on a credit card, or going back into debt for the few $100s. So which just that continues the debt debt snowball, I guess. So, and then once you have the $1,000 saved, that's step one. Step two is paying off your debt. So stop all your savings, stop all retirement, anything you're putting into from work, anything you're matching, anything like that. Just stop saving, dump it on the debt. You'll thank yourself. And that's kind of what I was counterintuitive. I found that counterintuitive, but then I've been learning and reading and watching Dave Ramsey's videos, listening to all the podcasts when I work, and that does make the most sense. He's been doing it for 25 years, and he's a multimillionaire, and I'm essentially broke. So I'd rather listen to a multimillionaire than to someone that's broke. So that works. So that's what I'm gonna do. I have over $1,000 saved in an emergency fund, and so I'm gonna plug away at that. I plug away at the debt now. So thank you very much for watching the video. download this budget for free. I just ask you to subscribe to this channel if you're downloading my spreadsheets. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So good luck with your budget. If you have any questions, let me know down below. Thank you very much. Have a good day.